with Beard!
Hey, podcast kittens! It's your flashy fashion reporter, Cathy Cat, and...
Ladybeard! Coming at you with another... I didn't think of an adjective for this one. Coming at you with another
the German thing.
hair twizzling... Oh, German thing?
Yeah, because Germany...
Coming at you with another... Rauchbier guzzling installment of Cat with Beard. We are deep diving in the life of the one and only Cathy Cat. Until this point, we've had suffering philosophy. Suffering, 10 degrees. I make YouTube now.
Yes.
Please.
I did
Let's keep going.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I did start YouTube. I just wanted to have one fun thing.
One fun thing
there.
was
And
YouTube.
it did bring me a lot of fun every Sunday to make my little videos and upload them on Sundays.
All right, okay. So here you are now. You got three degrees. You've got 3 degrees. You've got 17 jobs. You've got some philosophy. There's some nuns in the past. Now, you've made your way back to Japan already.
Yes,
So you're in Japan now.
Well, before I actually left, there's one little thing I missed to say is I started wearing this fashion that you see actually in the UK.
Oh, okay. All right. So
people usually expect me to start wearing this when I was in Japan, but actually I had bought some of these items in Japan before, and I just thought I couldn't wear them. So what I ended up doing is I'm like, okay, I have these. And one of my friends was like, we have a meet here. And I'm like, you have meets for this fashion here? And she's like, yeah, we have a Lolita Fashion tea party. You want to come?
Oh, that's nice.
So she introduced me to the world of Lolita Fashion tea parties. And what really impressed me is it can be girls and boys from different ages. Some are even already parents. Some are literally still in school. But we can all just sit there in a nice cafe, have a wonderful British afternoon tea. And when we enjoy that tea, we just compliment each other on our dresses. I thought that was heaven.
Well, that's fantastic.
So I started incorporating that into my videos
you
too.
You couldn't wear your dresses in Japan. Why?
Well, no. Maybe I didn't explain that right. I thought I couldn't wear them in the UK. Like, I
why?
bought them in Japan, but I was like, is there an occasion to wear this? Probably not. The fashion in the UK I did love because it gave me much more freedom than the German practical fashion. We Germans are very practical with our fashion.
All right.
But in the UK, I started exploring more and finding my own style. Until then, I got told, hey, you don't only have to wear this fashion as a costume for like anime conventions. You can wear it for tea parties, and I did.
You can have a Sunday stroll in your Lolita
Exactly.
vest.
Generally, you want it for certain countries, and you guys know what I mean. For certain countries, if you dress like this, you want to have the safety in numbers, though.
I see.
If you stand out too much, you get some bad attention. So you that is a thing that in the UK worked really well. Those tea parties also give you the safety in numbers as well.
Okay, fantastic. And you're doing that on your YouTube, and...
Before I left the UK, I had a Japanese friend of mine who also said, before I leave, I want to leave something behind. You have a lot of connections because if you started doing YouTube, fashion events, and all these kind of things. How about we give Chester an anime manga convention?
Oh, great.
So she's like, I don't have the power, but I know you have the connection. Let's make it happen.
Okay.
And I think the biggest venture of my lifetime started there, to try and pull enough people onto the boat of making and giving Chester its very first anime manga convention.
So you organized an anime convention?
Yes.
Oh, you are an endless powerhouse. Are you serious?
I can't just do it all by myself, of course.
Yeah.
So I pulled in all the wonderful people I met over the time. It kind of really wonderfully rounded up my time in the UK. The Lolita Fashion girls I would brought in to Lolita Fashion. I would bring in the Japanese wives that I knew from like a Japanese wife association so they could cook authentic Japanese food, bring authentic Japanese clothes in. I went over to the karate club at the university, say, hey, you want to do a karate demo? So they would come. Then I would also talk with the Anime Manga Society. They were a big help. So they came up with a lot of ideas and things they were then doing. And then, of course, we phoned around and tried to find maids and butlers so they could dance and sing and have a little cafe there. Then we started doing a bring and buy stand. And it's all the things that I'd learned from when I was doing musical, all the cool things from the German conventions, plus other things that I thought would be cool. We brought that all together for a big thing, and we had fashion shows, we had cosplay contests and like cosplay catwalks, we had panels, we had food, we had so many things happening, and we did like a big firework of a finale of my time in the UK.
Did you just naturally have the skills in organization, logistics, and communication that are required to do events organization? Just so everyone listening, if you've never worked in events organization, it's a very tough business.
It was very, very stressful, I think. It was pretty stressful, but I just really wanted to make it happen. And because we already had so many people who were helping, I think if everyone pulls together, we can make it happen. And so we did.
It's amazing, man. That is remarkable.
It was yeah, a grand, a grand big moment, I guess. So.
Endlessly impressive, Cathy Cat. Oh my goodness. All right,
so write my dissertation early.
Add that to your...
Go to Japan.
Okay.
And first thing, what most of people will do is teach English.
Okay,
so I started teaching, but this time I had the degrees to back me up as a German.
Okay.
So I had the degrees to back me up saying I have 3 degrees in the UK. Now you cannot tell me to leave again because I have now things to back up that my English is actually at a good level.
You could have said that you were half British or something. No one's going to check
Should have
up
done
on
that,
Yeah.
but I probably would have gotten even better jobs for that.
My Italian friend, when she wanted to teach English in Hong Kong, she just said that she grew up in Australia.
Clever.
Yeah.
Very clever move. I was too honest.
enough.
But what I did once is I did just take out that I was from Germany. It wasn't questioned where I was from. I just put my degrees there and I didn't put down Germany. And that's actually how I got the first teaching job. Teaching English through drama, which then matched also my degree. So we did like singing, dancing, little plays that then worked. And they were honest with me and they said, yeah, you have the wrong passport, but because you didn't write that down, you got the job and you're a great teacher. Wow. So to get through the door again, if you're not an English native speaker, you'll have it a lot harder because you have the wrong passport.
You have the wrong passport.
People told me that, yeah.
But what if you were born in Germany, but your mum and dad are like American or something, so you grow up speaking English fluently? Does your wrong... Yeah, because Japan loves paper. So
it's
the
paperwork, yeah.
Wrong
That's the wrong passport. But here we are. I am in Japan. I'm teaching English for drama, singing, dancing. We have a lot of unpaid overtime in that job. I've been grinding there as well. And there were the Harajuku Fashion Walks. A lot of people might know the Harajuku Fashion Walk. Happened at that time once a month. People would come together all in this flashy fashion that I love wearing, and we'd walk around Harajuku. And there was this awkward French older gentleman who tried to take pictures, but he seemed like he was a bit too shy to take pictures. So I love pulling people in. I'm a very happy, friendly, sociable person. I don't read drama online. I just want to include everyone and have everyone have fun. So I was like, hey, come over here. If you speak with this person and that person, they would love to have a picture with you. Don't be shy. Come on in. I do this all the time. I used to do it, especially when the Harajuku Fashion Week was happening all the time. I would just see someone who stands lonely there, pull them in, introduce myself, introduce them then to other people, and everyone's smiling in the end because that's what I love about the fashion. Like I said, I don't read the drama. I don't try and engage in drama. I just want to pull people in because I think there's so much potential here of like expressing yourself and enjoying this world of fashion. Anyways, I'm going on a tangent. Where were we? What was the question?
That story started with strange old man taking photos of young girls.
No, that's
and
not
I thought
weird.
it was going in a very different direction.
No. He wasn't a strange old man. He was an older guy who was too shy to take pictures.
An older guy standing slightly away from a group of young girls with a camera.
I didn't say girls. Harajuku Fashion Walk is guys and girls all together, right? But I could tell that he really wanted to take pictures, but he was too shy. We have a lot of people who come and take pictures all the time of all ages of the Harajuku Fashion Walk. Okay. So I was really friendly and I said, look, take pictures. He took a couple of pictures and then goodbye. Okay. And at that time, there was a channel that was called Kawaii Patine that was tiny.
Kawaii Protein?
Patine. Oh. Kawaii Patine. And they had Misako on it.
Oh.
They had Kimura Yu on it.
Oh.
They had like some of the big Japanese fashion names on it, but barely any subscribers. Oh. So I'm like, I sent them a message and said, hey, you want to collab? Your channel definitely deserves more attention. And then I didn't read the message for a while. And once I read the message, they were already way bigger and they were huge. And they're like, actually, we met before. And that happened to be that French guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I spoke with them and they pulled me into Kawaii Patine and said, okay, because he's so awkward and he can't speak with people, how about you take that over? You take the pictures, you take the interviews and do that during the Harajuku Fashion Week. So I would work the normal weekdays for my main job, and then on weekends I would go and try to take interviews of people dressed in this flashy fashion.
Right, okay.
Well, I also did my YouTube channel when I could.
Okay.
So that's how I started working for Kawaii Patine.
I see.
So, and then my 1 year as a teacher is over, and they're like, would you like to renew your contract? And I just thought, I want to take the chance and just ask, maybe I can work for that Kawaii Patine channel. So I put all my all my braveness together and I said, look, guys, I know I only have been working for you on the weekends, but I would love to work for you guys full time. And I have all these skills. I have all these degrees to speak all these languages. I do this fashion. If you would like me to work for you, I would really appreciate it. They thought about it, and then they were really honest and said, look, our salary is very low. Our company doesn't pay so much. Are you sure you want to do this? You have 3 degrees. And I'm like, I really want to do this. So I started first working for Kawaii Patine, which was like mainly fashion, makeup, and such.
Okay.
But then another channel was starting up, which needed someone who speaks the language very fluently.
Oh, okay.
And that channel needed someone to interview people on the streets of Tokyo.
Oh, okay.
And that was Ask Japanese.
At what point in this story did you learn Japanese?
I taught it to myself. So from the point of the first time I went as an exchange student, that's when I started. The 3 months before I went on the exchange, I literally just bought myself a book and started learning as much as I could. Wow. And then over the time, I just tried to incorporate a lot of Japanese. So before I went to bed every night, I would learn a little bit of Japanese, even though I was learning for other degrees. But I had always my Nintendo DS on the bedside. Right. And I would always tell myself to at least go through one chapter of those like Japanese lessons.
Yes.
And what I also did is a lot of Japanese people has been very kind to me. So what I tried to do is give back during my years of university and get the few Japanese students we had in Chester, there weren't many, together for a little Japanese society.
Right.
So I would share with them things that they might not have in their country. Or bring in other students who are also interested in Japan. So we have some students from India, Indonesia, obviously the UK, and me in Germany, and we would all have this little Japanese club where we tried to, for example, we did like an Easter egg thing, so where we all brought some chocolate, and they could then hide it in my garden. We would have like a little Easter egg hunt, and again, that helped me improve my Japanese too, because I got to speak with them.
I totally, I skimmed past the climax of the last story, which was, that was Ask Japanese.
Yes. So now I started actually working for Ask Japanese. I think I was just there at the right time when they literally were looking for someone.
You're interviewing people on the streets in Japanese.
Yes, in Tokyo. So we started that, and I guess I've never stopped because I'm still doing that.
Still here.
Still doing that. And then while I started doing that on YouTube, our company opened another little section, which became a talent agency. And they're like, well, you're here anyways. We're signing you up for our agency. And I'm like, guess we're doing that.
Okay, great.
And that's when... I don't know how I got that, but there was a program that was starting called Tokyo Extra. Yeah. And what they did is they did it in Japanese. It was really great. Director, he was very young. And we would, for example, do things in English and in Japanese. And that's when more and more little talent jobs came in. So talento is, again, like this kind of Japanese description of pretty much what we're doing. You know, so we do the TV appearance here, or a commercial there, or maybe some kind of voice over there. Whatever we can use you for, we'll try.
Talent, on-camera talent. Miscellaneous talent.
Yeah, and that's when I started doing a lot of different jobs, so here, there, and everywhere, and kind of that childhood wish that I actually never mentioned when I was a kid of becoming an actress was kind of finally I could live that out and making my own videos, in you know, being on camera, representing, and so more and more jobs came in and out, and this, you know, in the talent industry, it's rare to have like one that you do all the time. You generally start taking whatever comes in, and then you just try and do your best there and keep good connections with everyone.
And at what point did the Japan Railway Journal show up?
I first, again, Sailor Moon has saved my life many times, if you've watched the first episode. And that one also, the connection is incredibly interesting, but... There was a Sailor Moon fan club that opened, and they had an opening event, which was like a big stadium and like photo opportunities and such. And I dressed my best again in my flashy fashion with a touch of Sailor Moon charisma to it. Okay. And there was this team of camera people who kept like looking over, and they seemed like they wanted to interview me, and I could tell they wanted to, so I gave them a quick interview. The interview never got aired, but at the time I had little Post-it notes on which I would stamp my name with like a little self-made stamp.
Oh, that's nice.
Like, Cathy Cat, this is my name. I have a YouTube channel. Yay.
Oh, that's nice.
So I handed out one of those handmade cards, and they kept that. And 1 year later, my agency gets contacted by someone from NHK who said, we interviewed her. The interview never aired, but they remembered me.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So I must have left a good impression.
You're very charismatic on camera.
I tried my very best. They remembered me and they said, would you like to be part of a news program?
Okay.
And so I became to be part of Newsroom Tokyo, which is the big news program airing on NHK World. And they had a section when the program was longer at the end that would have like a kind of travel section, which got called Cat's Eye because it was
that's nice.
Cathy Cat and her view on Japan.
Oh, that's nice.
So I got to travel to some amazing places in Japan
Yeah.
and feature them with my angle on it. And it was a great time. So I was there for about 2 to 3 years, which is kind of long, until they started cutting the time of the program. And there wasn't not so much time for the frilly bits. So frilly bits of like, little travel sections there. So that's when that stopped. But someone I met during that program was kind enough to a couple of years later introduce me. Then, seriously, thank you. She then introduced me to Japan Railway Journal and said, "Would you like to work for this program?" And again, the Cathy Cat kicked in. Book, magazine, YouTube. Let's learn what I don't know.
Oh, okay, good.
Because I love Japanese trains, but I'm not going to say, I know everything about them, right? Because I was doing a lot of other things, so I tried to teach myself everything. I watched every episode of Japan Railway Journal that existed at that point online. I researched about all the different trains. I made my own little journal. No. For all of that to then go in and actually speak with the wonderful people in charge of the program. And I am very glad they liked me. I really put in 150, 90, 200% of effort. And
It's fantastic.
that's how I started to be on Japan Railway Journal, which is an awesome program. I must say, I've worked with a lot of people on TV, and that environment is so good. I've had so many experiences, so many different directors, but everyone on that program, they're kind, they're professional, they're making a great show. So check us out on Thursday nights on NHK World.
Thursday nights at NHK World. Be there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes!
Does that bring us up to where Cathy Cat is now, or is there something we've missed?
I mean, there's a lot of jobs in between we've done. I've been to conventions abroad, which I'll always love to do. If you are in charge of a convention abroad, get me over there.
Get
me over there. America, Thailand, Taiwan, just wonderful experiences. And I kind of want to keep doing that.
All right, cool.
This kind of life, I'm very grateful every day that I can live a life like this. And especially with the social media waves going up and down, trends going up and down, there's always a bit of insecurity in this kind of world. But at this point in time, I'm trying my best as always. And I'm always really happy when people come up to my Twitch streams, because that's like my very direct contact. I've tried to read pretty much all comments if I can, and just say, hey, I've seen you on Japan Railway Journal, or I've seen you on Ask Japanese, or I've seen you even on Kawaii Patine, or I've seen you on the Cat with Beard podcast, and they come and say hi and we chat a little bit. That's like wonderful moment right there.
That's fantastic. So what does the future hold for Cathy Cat? What are your dreams to become goals?
Ooh, that's all future. Okay, wait a second, hold on. Can we do these ones?
Sure.
Go
for it.
I like those.
Go for it.
All right.
Tell me about the most unforgettable event in your life, Cathy Cat.
That would probably be in the UK, Moi Moi Con, like the convention. I never probably said the name. Moi Moi Con was the convention that I started in the UK.
That's very impressive. I can't believe you made your own convention.
It was rough, but hey, and it even continued for a couple of years after that, I think, before the pandemic hit.
You have the skill set to do that. So right
the
now,
time
if you
I
said,
did.
I'm going to make Cathy Cat Con, you could do that.
I'm not sure. Like, the one thing that I've really made it so hard for me to leave Chester was I finally had found a place where I didn't have to move every 2 years. Okay. I'd been there for, my entire study time. It felt like finally I found a place where you didn't have to move. And people on the street would go, hi, Cat. So for me, that was like,
and you moved.
Yeah, and then I moved. But yeah, my dream was always Japan. My goal was always Japan. I had to be honest for myself for that. But yes, Moi Moi Con, getting my first class degrees. I think having not been English native, being able to get an English degree at the highest level that there is means I've put in the effort to make it happen. And then climbing Mount Fuji to the top.
You climbed Fuji?
I did. I tried
summer or
3
winter?
times. 2 times we couldn't make it to the top because of rain. Torrential rainfall. On the 3rd time, finally made it to the top, watched the sunrise and go like, that was so hard. I'm never going to do I can, but it's beautiful.
Did you do summer or winter walk?
You can only do it in summer to the top.
Oh, you can't do the winter.
You shouldn't, because if something happens, no one's going to take you down.
Oh, really?
You're only allowed to climb it for a certain set time in summer.
Really? So it's summer. Does it still have snow?
No.
No snow?
No, that's why you can climb up on Fuji.
Right.
But it's only for a very short time. But it's rough. Rough.
How long? And there's a path, yeah? So you're walking
There is
up
a path, yeah,
How long is the walk?
Well, you go there, you walk up, then you sleep for about like 2 to 3 hours in a tiny little hut, like head to toe with strangers. And then you climb up while it's still dark with a little headlight, with a little torch, up to the top of Mount Fuji and then watch the sunrise.
This sounds of a situation which could easily result in people falling off a mountain.
Yeah, that's why the first 2 years when it was raining, we were so close to the top. And the guide was like, look, I can get you up, but I can't get you down. And if I can't get you down, we have a problem. So that's why so close to the top, we would not reach the top. And
So you climbed Fuji. Oh, that's very impressive.
I don't think I could do that anymore. That was rough. I don't want to do that anymore.
So what's the most difficult thing that's happened in your life, you reckon?
I mean, you mentioned the dormitory as a kid. That was rough.
Sounds pretty horrible.
That was rough. But also leaving Chester was probably very rough for me, because I'd found like finally a place where I felt like I could stay and belong. Leaving something that was in a way working well for me behind for that dream was a tough choice, because in the end my goal was Japan, but I finally found friends. I finally found relationships. People knew me in that town. I could make an entire anime convention. So giving that up for the dream is a big sacrifice. A lot of people don't know how much sacrifice we go through to be here.
Lots of sacrifice.
It's nothing but sacrifices at some point.
More or less endless sacrifice, isn't it?
It is. It's still now. There are still sacrifices in a lot of things that you do, so it doesn't just pop up. That was pretty rough. And again, that connects now to the name Cathy Cat. Cat was what everyone called me in Chester.
That's nice.
But, well, everyone in Japan calls me Cathy.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
And I felt like, okay, I'm going now to live in Japan, but I kind of don't want to lose that British identity that I've gained over those years.
Okay.
So that's why I became Cathy Cat.
Oh,
is that British, that part of the Britishness and that life in Japan coming together.
That is very lovely. All right. Tell us something that's gone wrong, Cathy Cat. Tell us about a ball you've dropped.
Biggest ball I have dropped. I think there are a couple of things that you need to learn when you work in the entertainment industry. And I think I could do a whole masterclass on how tough it is in the entertainment industry in Japan. And sometimes you do an error and you don't even know you're doing it.
All the time.
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
I remember, for example, we had this meeting with this person, and he had his legs crossed. And in the West, if you cross your legs, that's kind of an okay thing to do. It's actually better if you cross your legs, if you're wearing a skirt. So I saw that person cross their legs, and I was like, maybe I should do that. So I crossed my legs like this.
Yeah, you're not allowed to.
While listening. Oh, I had hell to pay by my manager. She would dress me down the entire journey home for crossing my legs, because in Japan, that is considered rude, and only the higher hierarchy person is allowed to do that.
No one tells you that when you come into that. No one tells you don't cross your legs.
Nope.
No one. I crossed my legs on TV, and it was a huge kerfuffle as well.
Yeah. We just want to, make sure that we don't flush people, but apparently crossing your legs, big no-no in Japan.
What I find interesting, though, is that I see a lot of... Oh, no, I won't even talk about it. It's fine. Yeah, crossing your legs.
Nope.
No good. NG. All right. That's, tell you what, as far as balls to drop go, that's pretty lightweight. I think if that's the biggest ball you've dropped in your life, you've done pretty well. You never accidentally did a murder or something like that?
No accident murder. I think there's a lot of little things here or there or stuff where I'm like, oh, I think the most errors I do is when I don't know about the other culture. That might be Japanese culture. I think for every kind of places I had the pleasure to work at, may it be America, Taiwan, Thailand, it is generally we don't know enough about that other place.
Sure.
So there will be things we don't know when we go there. We don't know the culture things. That's things where you drop the ball and people can criticize you quite hard for it. But again, I'm a German living in Japan. I don't know much about America. I don't know much about, Thailand and Taiwan.
reasonable.
So there's a lot of things we won't know, and well, we're trying our best to somehow make do.
Well, that's right.
Yes.
Exactly.
I think there's a big trap, and that's a really interesting one that they also say in school. If there is in your class, if you're a teacher and in your class there is an immigrant student, and that student speaks perfect English, and it's an English class, you tend to treat them the exact same way, but they might not have those years of cultural experience that everyone else has. So I still have a lot of moments, even on this podcast, when I don't know what's going on because I didn't grow up in an English native environment in that culture. So I'll be like, I have no idea what's going on. And so there's a lot of balls I'm dropping here or there because I haven't been living in your country. I've been growing up in the land of beer and lederhosen and had my pretzels for them until I graduated from school.
Yeah, but if the rest of us go and live in your country, we'll do some social faux pas there that we didn't know was a faux pas.
I guess like my general thing is like live and let live a lot. So if, you try, and everyone's trying their best, right? We're all trying our best every day. So if someone does a mistake, just don't be so hard on them. Everyone is trying their best to make do and actually put enough bread on their table. Just one of my mottos is that life should be sweet. Let's be sweet to each other.
That's
just
very
be nice to each other. Like being nice doesn't cost you anything. I think that's like just a big one.
Most unforgettable person you've met in your life, Cathy Cat.
Ladybeard!
Hell yes, that's right.
Of course.
Hell yes, high five.
Ladybeard.
What I'm talking about.
That's
Good answer.
exactly.
I'm pretty sure when I was asked that question in my episode, I answered Cathy Cat. So good job. Correct
Of course.
answer, my friend.
Ladybeard.
Correct answer.
And all those wonderful people we met on the podcast.
We met a lot of
too.
great people on the cast.
I'm excited every time who's coming on the show.
Yeah.
We've met some friends, some people we know. We've met some people we've never known, and learning about the trade. And let's be honest, everyone is going through some sort of grind to get here. Learning about that one, super excited. Also, I met Hikakin.
Oh, did you?
Hikakin, yes, I met as a special YouTube event, and I had like a quick moment. So professional. Like, there's a lot of YouTubers who are like really snooty. Hikakin, not at all. Super professional, took his time. Awesome person. Fujiwara Tatsuya, the one who, for example, was acting in Death Note
Oh, right.
as Raito. Met them backstage in London.
Oh,
I
cool.
went all the way to see their play in London. I had literally only 10 pounds in London, and it happened that my cash machine ate my 10 pounds.
Oh, no.
So I had to like lend 10 pounds from a friend to just survive that time for that trip in London to see Fujiwara Tatsuya on stage. That was the one. And in the UK, and also Carol Ann Duffy, who does poetry, very famous poet. That was a real pleasure to meet her. She comes across as a very stern lady, but she does great poetry. So there's a lot of great people you meet during the time. And like all those people we've met on the podcast, all those people I've had the pleasure to meet. And also, sometimes just the most common people, the people who come and say hi, are sometimes for me also like, thank you so much for like having the balls to come up to a total stranger dressed in frilly fashion and say, hey, are you Cathy Cat?
Oh, that's
I find that very inspiring because you have to have some balls to do that, right?
I suppose so. Well, okay. Well, thank you to the bald. What inspires you, Cathy Cat? What inspires you?
I guess in a way, from as a red string that has come now all the way from my childhood is Sailor Moon. It's in a way because it has given me my first opportunity to make friends, to tour Germany and do the Sailor Moon musical, to then have the exchange because I went through that class. I got told to like that opportunity and got through that connection to first have my first exchange, and then thanks to Sailor Moon, I'm on NHK. So it seems like that is like my guardian, my sailor guardian of my life. So I think that work also like gave me that. I saw those friendships on the show, and I didn't watch it for the love as much. I watched it for those friendships because I remember not having friends and just going like, I want to have friends like that.
Did you watch Sailor Moon in German or in English or Japanese?
I watched it in German. Yeah,
German.
I watched it in German. So I never had that butchered version that the US got.
Have you ever met the voice actress or anything?
No, but I would love to.
A friend of mine is married to the Japanese voice actress of Sailor Moon. Yeah.
Introduce me.
All right, I'll see what I can do.
Introduce me. Oh my god.
I have not met her, but I've met my friend who's married to her. Oh
my god.
Yeah.
I touched the person who's married to the voice actress. You probably touched your friend like shoulder or something, right?
Yeah.
That sounded weird.
Hugged him hugged him hello and hugged him goodbye.
Yeah. I touched I touched the person who hugged the person who is now.
You now have a physical link to the voice of Sailor Moon.
Yeah, I have to know a physical link. I'm so sorry. I'm getting bright red here under my makeup.
What's the funniest thing that's happened in your life? The funniest moment?
Riding the elevator with Ladybeard and hearing your elevator pitch was probably a good one.
My elevator pitch?
You have an elevator pitch.
Do I?
You have an elevator pitch. We were in America on an event, and we were just at the airport. It was like it was like total chaos. We were all trying to make to our plane, and there was this lovely old lady who was riding the elevator with us. Oh. And she was like, "Oh, what are you doing?" She was like looking around, and we all looked like a very regular cloud. And you did your elevator pitch of saying, "I'm a cross-dressing pro wrestler and metal scream head in Japan is probably the only country where you can have that job."
Okay. Oh, good.
That was your elevator pitch, literally in an elevator. Sorry. It
was literally in an elevator.
Literally in an elevator pitch.
Well, I'm very pleased that I could provide this moment.
Probably a great moment there.
I'm very pleased I could provide this moment.
Not sure if I can tell the next one.
It's up to you.
All right.
I won't force you.
Oh, let me think. Can I tell that story? I probably can't. No, I can't tell that one. But there was another funny moment.
What comes next in the trajectory of Cathy Cat? So you're working on a 4th degree?
I was very tempted of getting that PhD sometime.
Wow.
But now that the UK has upped the expenses for degrees, they have now gone up even higher.
Why don't you get a scholarship? You can get a scholarship. Get a scholarship.
I'm not sure if I can
get a scholarship.
Point,
of course. Dude, you made an anime convention. You can make a scholarship. No problem.
I'm not sure if I'm get away from school for a little bit too long for
you'll be fine. Get a scholarship.
Thank you. But yeah, I think I want to continue what I'm doing here, especially want to grow more on Twitch because I do like that directness like Twitch gives you. I do also like crafting videos. I probably want to do maybe a new channel, which is like some different type of content, that kind of stuff, and just find out what does the algorithm want now, but also teach myself a bit more of a skill. I think I want to do more things again on stage. I miss being on stage so much after all of that. And yeah, I think there's always something new to do, something to grow. And in the future, I want to get that permanent residency for Japan because you know now how many years I was grinding and working hard to be here.
You did put in the effort.
I did put in above and beyond of effort. So hopefully one day I'll be able to get that PR, which you can't get unless you've been here in Japan for 10 years or you're a super qualified professional for 8 years. So
to 3 degrees, not count as super qualified professional?
I think you have to have a PhD or you have to be in engineering, though. That's what I think
You could get an engineering degree. From what you've done so far, I reckon you can figure it out pretty easily.
I have high respect for everyone who can do the sciences and the maths. And I'm not living that life.
What about the science of cute? You handle that very well.
Oh, the science of cute! I'm game. I'll try that. I'll definitely try that. So that's probably my favorite one.
Does that bring us to the conclusion of Cathy Cat? What is there anything else that you want the people to know? Anything else about Cathy Cat that needs to be unveiled in front of the other humans right here, right now?
First of all, being nice and kind is for free. If we all try to be a bit nicer to each other when we create a bit of a better world.
That's very nice.
Don't read drama and don't engage in drama. Nobody's got time for that. Focus on yourself, making yourself better, and making it to where you want to go. Don't give up on your dreams. Just keep grinding.
That was a lovely way to wrap this bad boy up.
Yeah, I think Carpe Diem was like my life motto when in university, like seize the day, make the most of the day, which then later on become life should be sweet, let's be sweet to each other, and my favorite line, do what you love and love what you do.
I like that very much. On that note, Cathy Cat, tell the people where you are on the internet.
Right now, if you really want to come and chat and engage with me, I can highly recommend you guys to come to my Twitch channel. It's Cathy Cat, both with the C_TV. I stream about twice on Twitch a week, but that's like my chance to sit down and chat. I try and answer questions. Sometimes there are a lot of questions. I might not be able to read all of them, but I try at least engage a lot with my audience because it's the first time that I can directly engage much better than before. Well, obviously I have a lot of videos I have on my Cathy Cat channel, and Japanese of course as well, but those are kind of like, Twitch is right now my most fun because I can do whatever I want. I can act on it if I want to. I do that sometimes. I can play games on it if I want to. I can just go out in Japan and film areas in Japan. So that is like, because there's no algorithm, I can do whatever I want to do and just have fun. So that's definitely my main platform, as well as obviously doing content, proper branded content, edited content on YouTube, my channel, on my second gaming channel, and on Ask Japanese. And then Japan Railway Journal on NHK World if you want to find out about the awesome things about Japanese railways. Yes, I think so. Ladybeard, how about
At
you?
Ladybeard_Japan, my group Babybeard at Babybeard_Japan. Our new songs are now streaming on the streaming services. Check them out, please.
And guys, shall we wrap it up with my little tagline? Do you remember it? Life should be sweet.
Ah, yes.
Let's be sweet to each other.
Oh, okay, very good. All right, let's do it. Okay,
and then do what you love and love what you do.
Hang on, so there's two of them now. Hang on.
Yeah.
Life should be sweet.
Let's be sweet to each other. And then do what you love and love what you do.
All right, I got them now. Let's do it. Here we go. Ready?
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Life should be sweet. So let's be sweet to each other. And
do what you love and love what you do.
Bye.
We'll see you next time on Cat with Beard.
From Japan. Thank you.